So let's just arrive in this very moment, here and now. With everything what we bring today. Any emotion, any crazy thoughts, anything is welcome. Exactly how you are right now. And here I would like to start today with the breathing. The breathing is a very wonderful tool to become present, to be in this very moment. So it's not a breathing exercise, so to speak. It's just observing the breath, just how it flows naturally, without altering it. It might be already a really relaxed breathing, or it might be still quite a fast breathing, depending on if you have been walking fast or running around just before. All of that is completely fine. Just observe how you are breathing. In the Vipassana Meditation, they actually start with just observing how the breath touches the entrance, like the air touches the entrance of the nostrils. Like how, as you breathe in and as you breathe out, this air touches in that spot. Because the more we, in the beginning, and the more we can narrow down the focus, where we focus on, the easier it is to focus. Like we're not so spread out, but we are really kind of focusing just on that between the upper lip and the nose kind of part. And a bit still inside of the nose, inside the nostrils, but just that area. Without altering, just your rhythm. Observing how the air touches these little hairs, and maybe as you breathe in you feel it still as a bit of a cold breeze, and as you breathe out you feel that it has become a bit warmer. And every time you might maybe feel that your mind is wandering still from a busy day, you just come back to that spot. And it's you could say a loving, curious observation. Not so much a strict, like in a way of, oh, I have to get it right and I'm not allowed to drift off, but it's more like a kind of as if you would smell a rose, for example. That kind of loving breathing in and breathing out. Also has a playful quality to it, you know? The same like children maybe play. In Spain we say el suelo es lava, like the ground is lava, like very hot, that what comes out of the volcano. And you're not allowed to touch it in that game when you jump from chair to chair. The same playfulness of like just staying here in this small spot with my awareness. And with this curiosity, I invite you to now explore a bit more of the trajectory of the breath, still just staying with the breath, but maybe really feeling how the breath travels through the nose, down the throat, into the lungs, and the same path backwards again. Again, just with your own rhythm, without changing anything about your breath. Just observing how it travels all the way down into the lungs, and maybe you can even feel it into the little bubbles in the lungs, I don't know how they are called, and back up through the nose and out. Nothing else matters right now, only how the breath travels in and out. Again, with this love and also gratitude for this breath of life which is entering through the nostrils, down the throat, into your lungs, and brings you life, aliveness, prana. And also gratitude for every breathing out, for every letting go of the breath. It's like a cleaning also, bringing in fresh, new air, new life. And letting out and letting go of anything which is old and you don't have use for that anymore. With so much gratitude for both in and out. And as we are going deeper into the deeper layers of consciousness, you could say, maybe there's also more things getting ready to be let go of. So if that's the case, just gently, without pushing them out, just with every out breath you can kind of offer a little piece of that onto that movement of breath, so it can be carried up and out without pushing, in its own pace. And it's also not that you have to search for anything or that you have to mentally know what these things are. Sometimes they just appear like shapes, you could say. And we can offer them for grace to take them. So just emptying out that inner space, you could say. And again, just the breath in, the fresh and new, and out, whatever you don't need anymore. With no rush. Breathing in abundance and breathing out that overflow of abundance. Abundance is not about just taking in and holding on to it, but to overflow with that. Just gently, lovingly, curious, breathing in abundance, like the fragrance of a rose or any flower you really like. And overflowing in your out breath. And see if slowly through all this breathing in of abundance and love, maybe in this whole heart, chest, lung area, there's some warmth and expansiveness. Again, with no rush. Maybe you can observe that even though maybe still some thoughts might come into the picture, so to speak, that they're really just on the surface. There's you breathing in and out, and maybe just something pops up and passes through, but it is really not that important, so to speak. And if there are no thoughts, then that's wonderful too. But just saying, if something like this comes in, you are anchored with your breath. And now I feel that just want to slightly change the focus. That when you breathe in now, as the chest gets wider in the in-breath, become really aware of your heart there in that chest area, of your beautiful, beautiful heart. So the breath is still in the awareness, anchoring into the present moment. But at the same time, the heart is there with its beautiful presence. And if it's too distracting to focus on both, then you can just completely switch to the heart. And just when you might feel that you're drifting away again with thoughts or emotions, then focus on the breath again in order to come back to the present moment. So as you focus more and more on your heart, you can see it like a flower bud, like a rose bud or whatever your favorite flower is, and really see it blossoming slowly in its own pace, but really see it how it kind of can open, can blossom. as far as it wants to open today is completely perfect. Really look at its beauty and purity. There's also maybe let's say a little aspect of maybe feeling more vulnerable or fragile as we open up. That's very natural, like when the flower was still a seed, it was very good equipped to against any cold and winds and so on. And as the flower opens, it gets more fragile for any outside circumstances to affect it. So let's just really be very careful and gentle and respectful for that. Maybe if you want, you can put your hands on your heart if that's something which is helpful for you. And just through that touch, you can already maybe a little bit reassure your beautiful heart, kind of give it a bit more of that protection which it suddenly doesn't have so much, it feels. Again with the in-breath, breathing in love and abundance into this beautiful heart. And with the out-breath, slowly but surely letting go of fears and restrictions and anything which is not needed anymore. Breathing in and out into your beautiful heart and out. Abundance and gratitude as you breathe in. And also gratitude for making space when you let go. Breathing in as if you would nurture that flower in your heart with radiant sunlight, breathing in that prana. And letting go of whatever is not needed. And letting your heart more and more expand, be it with that image of that flower, or be it just in general, to really feel that in your own pace and whatever is possible right now, to just really see how it expands, or even if it doesn't expand much or not at all, how it softens. How it softens, like as if the border of the heart, so to speak, and all sides is softening. And especially also, if you want, you can put your focus on the back part of your heart, because sometimes we focus more forward, so to speak, because that's where we see when we have our eyes open. But I also want to invite you to really also focus on the softening of the back of your heart. In the back of the heart, that's where I see energetically that from the spiritual heart, so to speak, from the deepest point there in the back, that's where we connect to the source, to that, to love, to the divine, however you want to call that. And that spot can sometimes be a bit tender. So just very gently, very lovingly breathe into this spot, bringing prana, bringing light and love to this far in the back spot. As you breathe out, letting any restriction or maybe even physical pain be carried out, up and out. Just gently softening with every in-breath, softening and kind of caressing this spot in the back of the heart. With curiosity also, because that's, like I said, how I would say where the gateway, the door to the divine is. Letting all the old emotions just being carried out. by the breath. Also saying thank you for anything which might have been blocking there before, because this was meant in a very caring way, was a sort of protection, you could say. Maybe there's still some of that needed, and that's also okay. So anything which wants to go is invited to dissolve, but there's also no rush at all. And then also going again to the rest of the heart and softening all the rest as well, wherever it wants to soften. As we breathe into the heart, allowing more and more to receive, in a sense receiving the breath as we breathe in, but also receiving anything else from the universe. Be it love, be it money, be it health, anything, whatever wants to come. Let us soften into the opening of receiving that. Kind of as if you have like the tap in the bathtub, and you just open that tap, and if there's water, then water can come, and if there's no water, then water doesn't come, but that we are open. We cannot change all the things in the outside, but we can be open in the inside to receive whatever wants to be showered upon us. Really softening into receiving. Receiving and giving in a balance. The same like we are breathing in and breathing out. And in the end of the day, it's the same amount. Otherwise you would just get more and more inflated, so to speak, or we would not have enough air. The same as it is with receiving and giving. Like that picture of the abundance which comes in and you receive that abundance. And the abundance in the heart overflows out of love and gives back, breathes out. Breathing in and breathing out. Receiving and giving. And the important thing here, I feel, is to be aware that whatever we receive from the One, from Source, from the Divine. May it be that it has taken form of another human being, or whichever form it might have taken to give us that abundance. And as you breathe out, giving, overflowing back into the One, into the Source, in whichever form that might be. Because then you're not, so to speak, biting into that interdependent game of a particular person who has given something or received something, where you want to find that balance in this exact person. So if you take that out, then it's really this open, loving and balanced, receiving and giving, receiving and giving, receiving and giving. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.